Hearing all the stories of K-pop idols dealing with Sasaengs is horrifying. Sasaengs' actions range from being just a creepy fan with straight up no boundaries whatsoever to literal criminal offenses. Their determination to pursue idols takes extreme forms as they stalk these idols and physically harass them, their friends, and families. Well, this is over now as South Korea is putting into action a law that should punish these people severely. SM entertainment artists have dealt with all kinds of obsessive Sasaengs. We all remember the incident when a fan attempted to kidnap Girls' Generation's Taeyeon while she was performing on stage. Unfortunately, this isn't the only case where idols face fanatical fans who put these idols' safety and privacy in serious danger. One case of this was when Super Junior's Heechul got into a car accident because fans were following him with their cars. When Super Junior were headed to the Super Show 3 in Singapore in January of 2011, the car that was carrying Heechul and Itook suffered a minor car crash because of fans chasing their car with their own vehicles. The accident involved 7 cars in total, 5 of which were the cars of fans. Fortunately, both Itook and Heechul walked away without a scratch, but were left mortified. On Seoul's War of Words, Heechul even said that he doesn't consider them fans, stating, "I don't add fan when I talk about Sasaengs. Sasaengs are not fans." He went on to say, "I am okay with fans coming to my workplaces, as because of the fans, I as a celebrity exist, but I do not like them coming to my personal space, especially in front of my house." There was even a case when a Sasaeng broke into their dorm by figuring out the security code and then mixed her own underwear with the members' underwear. Heechul said that he then received a creepy text message from the Sasaeng who told him that his teddy bear underwear was cute. He shared that Sasaengs are so crazy that they even know whenever the idols change their phone numbers. Heechul shared, "As soon as I change my number, I get a message from the Sasaeng fans. They send me, 'Oppa, we all know you changed your number.' At the time, I was so scared that I got goosebumps." Probably everyone heard the horrible thing that happened to Taekyung from 2PM. He was sent a letter by a Sasaeng fan written in period blood, or how Super Junior's Hunging received a poisoned cake with knives and bags of blood, along with a picture of Hunging that was impaled. Don't forget TVXQ's Yoonho being given a glass of orange juice with glue in it. Girl groups are also common victims of Sasaengs. Twice's Mina was sent a threatening letter because a male fan thought that she was dating GOT7's Bam Bam. Girls' Generation's Yuna was stalked all the way to her dorm, and Baby Vox's Kam Myung got sent razor blades with blood letterings for dating an HOT member. The most recent extreme case includes Twice's Nayeon, who's being stalked by an international fan who thinks that they're meant to be together. As you might have noticed, Sasaeng culture is more prominent in South Korea than in Western countries. Even though Western celebrities also have obsessive fans, more often than not, these fans get locked behind bars once they start pushing boundaries and invading the privacy of celebrities. Sasaeng culture being more evident in Korea makes sense, as the South Korean legal system had minimal laws about the punishments involved with stalking and invasion of privacy. The anti-stalking law was enacted on October 21st, 2021, as before it, the act of stalking was classified as a mere misdemeanor, where the perpetrators were only fined a maximum of about $80 for their crimes. This was basically pocket money for the Sasaengs, who spent all of their money following idols around the world and getting them gifts in order to get their attention. However, the new law stated that the act of approaching and following a victim against their will, waiting for and observing the victim around their residence, school, or workplace is considered as stalking. What also counts as stalking is sending messages, images, or videos that are unwelcomed by the victim, and also causing anxiety by destroying objects placed around the victim's residence. The same is put into practice when the acts are targeted at the victim's family and friends. The anti-stalking law came into the spotlight once again after a 28-year-old woman had her life brutally taken by her stalker. She had been working her usual evening shift at the subway station without knowing that she was being followed. Her attacker, who had been her co-worker for a few years, had waited for her outside the toilet at their workplace for over an hour, then he followed her inside and attacked her until she passed away. What makes the case all the more tragic was that the incident happened a day before the perpetrator was due to be sentenced for stalking her. The stalking began 3 years ago, and the perpetrator had phoned his colleague hundreds of times so he could beg her to date him, and had even threatened to harm her if she refused. She reported the incident to the police in October of last year, and the perpetrator was fired and arrested. However, he was never sent to prison or given a restraining order, even though a police investigation had taken place. The victim was also placed under police protection, but this only lasted a month as the police felt that there was nothing significant to report. This caused the stalker to threaten and keep following her until he took her life. The tragedy sparked national outrage as the public pointed out all the loopholes in the law, such as the fact that it wouldn't count as stalking if the victim didn't answer the stalker's calls, which is something that frequently happens to idols. The law also said that the perpetrator can't be prosecuted if the victim objects, which only puts the victim in further danger since the stalkers can threaten them further into getting their agreement. This made President Yoon Suk-yeol call for stricter anti-stalking laws, saying, "The anti-stalking law was enacted last year, but many said it wasn't enough to protect victims. I told the Justice Ministry to remedy the system and fully ensure that victims are protected so as to leave no room for such crimes. The changes that were made into the law made stalking a punishable crime, as before, stalking only ended when the victim passed away. Under the new law, online stalking is now counted as a stalking crime, location tracking devices are allowed to suspects during an investigation, and punishing stalkers is allowed even if they don't have the victim's approval. Moreover, now police are expected to be watchful from the very first report of stalking so it doesn't end in tragedy. The police forces now can provide protection shelter to victims and give restraining orders to potential perpetrators so they can restrict the contact with the victims. Hopefully now women in South Korea can feel safer, but with this being a current topic, people have also been wondering what this means for Sasaengs who basically stalk for a living. With the updated law coming into place, people wish for idols and their companies to finally take legal action in order to stop Sasaeng fans from invading their privacy and putting the idols in danger. The law can now protect idols from Sasaengs harassing and stalking them and also gaining access to their personal information like their phone numbers. The NCT members alone have had too many cases of Sasaengs calling them up numerous times on live streams despite the idols telling them to stop, so let's hope that this finally comes to an end. JYP Entertainment is in fact one of the first companies to use the law against obsessive fans. On November 11th, JYP released a lengthy statement addressing the netizens who have invaded Stray Kids' personal space. The agency let the public know that there had been fans waiting outside the members' dorm building, following them to their elevator, and going as far as sneaking to their doorstep. The stalking caused the members serious psychological distress, as well as their neighbors who have to deal with strangers breaking into their apartment complex and causing disturbance. In their statement, JYP brought up the anti-stalking law, mentioning that their actions could lead to the stalkers being fined 30 million Korean won or facing up to 3 years in prison. JYP stated, "If the violations continue after this notice is posted, we will not only place the perpetrators on a permanent blacklist for Stray Kids fan club activities, but also take all possible civil and criminal measures available according to the laws related to stalking crimes." They also mentioned that settlements won't be reached in case they decide to press charges. This was applauded by both fans of Stray Kids and netizens who are hoping that the other companies take the same route and warn Sasaengs by threatening legal action. Even though it's not stated anywhere, some fans are wondering what the law means for media outlets that follow idols everywhere, mainly Dispatch. If there's one thing Dispatch is known for, it's that they stalk and photograph idols until they find out private information about their love lives, which they choose to keep private for a reason. Fans want to know whether this law can be applied to Dispatch and similar media outlets as well, so the companies and idols know whether they can press charges in order to be left alone. All in all, we are hopeful that the law will be applied accordingly to protect the victims who have suffered from the hands of their stalkers so they can finally get justice and feel safer in their homes and places of work. Hope you liked today's video. For more stories, follow us on our website, KOOKIELIT.com. Thank you for watching. Bye!